everyone, welcome back to this Let's Swim, back on Episode today for a bit of an informative video. I know this is not usually the type of video I release, generally more oriented toward like doing PvP stuff on sometimes some PvP stuff as well. I don't really like relay information regarding like new unit coming out and all that. But today I decided, since it's a bit special, I've seen a lot of people asking, oh, when are we getting Ras and all that. I mean, obviously you get him when you do those missions. Obviously, I mean, if you don't see the big ass glowing button with Genesis Ras, it means that you're a new player and that you haven't cleared the story. You need to be able to clear episode, what is it called? It's the prologue. So when you start the game, you could be put into the 6th world, and you need to clear it. But so you need to clear it fully. Up, you went to the first one, and I'm pretty sure you need to clear the final fights. Yeah. Up. So once you're done with that, you should see the Genesis Ras thing up here, right there. Then you will see this. You will see that you only have access to one of 4 menus, but you can already prep and see what you can do for like the 3 other even before you get access to them. So first of all, the first menu, I mean, people already started doing it, so you'll know how it works now. We have mission, we complete this mission, we get those little blue balls right here. We get 1000 a day, mission reset every day, so it takes 7 days. Up, period. You gotta take a full week to do this first mission. Then, what we know is that in the stuff post, they posted that we need to clear all 4 missions to be able to get Genesis Ras, which leads me to believe that Eternal Mercy is the last one. Just because once you've entirely completed the Eternal Mercy mission, you will be able to obtain Genesis Ras. This line, plus the line on stove, makes me say that this is the last mission, so this makes me think that we're starting with the mission on the left, then we go to Steering Life, then we go to Steadfast, and then we finish with Eternal Mercy. We can speak of Eternal Mercy even though it's the last one, because it's kinda similar to the first mission. It's just a mission where you have to basically click on this restore button when you have this resource above, and it's gonna just progress 1 out of 7. For example, the first day you're gonna do it, and you can do it every day. So, same thing as the first mission, it's something that's gonna take you a week. It's less like you don't have any mission to do, you just have to get resource. We don't know if the resource is weak. There's nothing to say that like on day 2 it's the same resource as shown here. So for now we only know that. So in total right here with only those 2 missions we have 2 weeks already of preparation for Ras at the very minimum. Then we're going to Steering Life, which logically speaking, unless we somehow go to Steadfast next, which wouldn't really make sense, but who knows. Steering Life should be the second one. On Steering Life, you pretty much just have to farm. There is nothing that says that there is a time limit on it, so you're not time gated, as to say, like the first and the fourth mission. So all you need to do is to farm. You need to farm to get the fragments of the release slate. You need to farm sapling of the young secretary. The fragments, you get them every time you farm something that consumes stamina in adventure, side story, on emergency mission. Unobtainable from story style, because story style don't consume stamina, so yeah, don't try those. Anything that doesn't consume stamina has 0 chance to give you slates, so don't try to freeze it that way, you're just gonna waste your time. So you get 20% chance every time you clear one of those content to get more stamina, to get one of those fragments. We don't know if you get many per clear or if you get 1 per clear. If it's many per clear, it's fine. If it's only 1, you need to get 50 of those. It's gonna take a while. And same thing for the sapling. It's 200. It's gonna take a while. And since you're not really guaranteed to get 1 every one, because even with this line right here, additionally, when the energy exceeds 8, the acquisition probability increased by 2.5 per energy. Yeah, you can't really guarantee to get it by 100% of the time. I will say that out of all the available content I see right here for adventure, side story, and emergency mission, in my opinion the best one is side story, because in side story you get to farm hard mode and L mode. Hard mode costs 24 stamina, which is the most you can get in terms of energy consumption among those 3 game modes. It's not really that long, so at least it goes kinda quick to farm. Then you have L mode, which costs 30, which is technically the best, but sadly you can only farm 5 times L mode in a side story. So yeah, this is probably gonna be the best game mode to farm it when you get access to it. And then we get Sapling of the Young Sacred Tree, which has a bit more drop rates than the Holy Slates. And they kinda get the same thing. If you have the energy consumption exceeds 10, the acquisition probability increased by 2.5, which means the higher the consumption, the better it is. Which, out of Hunt, Rift, Ogre's Armory, and Spirit Altar, obviously, Rift is the best. Spirit Altar and Ogre's Armory are clearly the worst, so I wouldn't recommend farming those. So it's a battle between Rift and Rift and Hunt. I've somehow mixed up the two words. I would say Rift is probably better if you've got a quick team that clears it somewhat decently fast, but Hunt could be better depending on how fast you can clear Rifts. But yeah. Speaking of which, this goes very well with the third mission that we need to talk about, the Steadfast Courage. Steadfast Courage needs you to feed gear, pretty much, to progress through this bar. Which means that all the gear that you got from farming for staying alive right here, you should keep them, ideally. Whether it's through like having a lot of space, which is not my case for me, or putting them into the waiting room. If you have, you can, I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can put, that's a lot of Skystone, I will admit. So if you have already the space, good for you, I guess. But I would recommend you, like, if like putting gears into this waiting room menu, like gears that you save to feed into the Steadfast Courage. Yeah, Steadfast Courage. Because those gear needs to be level 85, level 88 equipment from, and can be also the weird equipment you get from Ogre's Armory or Goblomu. Goblomu is the old Ogre's Armory gear, for those who still have some of those, maybe. Here we go. So people don't ask what is Goblomu gear, it's just the old Ogre's Armory gear, it's the same. Up. For Goblomu, Ogre's Armory and level 88 equipment, it's only red gears that you can feed. Doesn't really matter for level 88 equipment because there is no level 88 equipment that's purple. Epic Grade is the red gear. Ogre's Armory on the other hand, I'm pretty sure there is some purple that exists if you farm some lower stage of Ogre's Armory. So yeah, you can't feed those sadly. But yeah. On level 85 you can convert them as soon as they are purple. So you can't feed blue gear. Which also kind of brings me back to my last point between Hunt and Rift. Hunt doesn't guarantee purple gear. So you can get a bunch of blue gear, which is not really useful for this. So that's why Rift kinda gets ahead, in my opinion, for farming in the previous game mode, because you get purple on red gear only. But I guess you can craft with Hunts, but yeah. But you'll see that I don't really like the idea of crafting because of one reason at the end, that we'll talk about really quickly. Equipment that fall under the above parameters, so as long as you have 88 gear, purple on red, I mean, on level 85 purple or red, you then need to plus 9 hits. So you need to waste charm on it. Plus 9 hits, you need to try and test it. Test for subs. And then you can, they are selectable in this restore menu. I assume the restore menu is just gonna make your bag pop up, like it's gonna make the bag menu open, and you'll be able to select gears that are like following those parameters, and that are probably not locked in your inventory as well. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't count the log gear. Imagine people start feeding their log gear, that'd be bad. The amount of restoration progress that you receive from each individual gear equipment conversion will depend on the equipment's grade, level, and equipment enhancement value. So this means that 88 will give more than 85, obviously. It doesn't say that you can level 90 counts, so don't reforge the gear as well, or else you're not gonna be able to feed them. So yeah, level 88 more than 85, though I would say farming 88 kinda sucks because most 88 are kinda rare. I would say if you have some of the like very old Nightmare Red gears that are not very useful anymore, that roll bad at the time, maybe. And I'm saying that, well, not Nightmare Red, but Red L, because at the time Red didn't used to like give gear with like set sub, like the sub would be random. So if you have some of them with like very bad sub, but you still keep them, maybe it's the time to feed them. Level, so no, level is what I just talked about. Equipment squad is obviously red over purple, so feeding red is always gonna be better. And also enhancement value, which means that plus 15 the gear gives more than plus 9. We'll have to see though if it's really worth it, because like obviously plus 15 a gear is way more than plus 9. So yeah, that's a lot more charms. Once you've converted an equipment, you will receive restoration progress and cannot reverse the process. So yeah, once you've done it, your gear is gone. But most importantly, that very last line at the end is why I think that crafting the gear is double wasting your resources, because material regularly acquired through selling or extracting equipment will not be granting. I don't know what it's granted. Could not it say granted? I mean, I'm not no expert in English, but I don't know. It sounds weird to me. But yeah, so equipment will not be granting the material you usually get by selling or extracting them. Which means, if we go over into the gear menu, when you're gonna feed those gear, oh, it's making the waiting room pop up. Usually, when you feed gear, like let's say you sell it, you get gold, you get some powder in exchange. When you extract it, you get those blue cubes that you can use to craft more gear. When you're gonna use that restore option, your gear menu is gonna pop up, and you're gonna be able to select, like, let's say I select those gear on those gear. Oh. Let's say I select I can't select that one. But yeah, let's say I select this gear on this gear. I'm gonna restore it. I lose the gear. I get nothing back. I don't get the gold. I don't get the powder back. I don't get any cubes. So this is like a huge waste, which is why I want people to like try and start like accumulating trash gear. Like gear, like ideally the best gear you can accumulate is like 85 gear reds with like main stats, like if it's a neck or ring, like the death sub, like defense flat, HP flat, attack flat on the right side gear, with like as well very bad substats. Like yeah, those are technically the ideal gear to feed for this. So yeah, this is, in my opinion, the best way to go about this, because you notice that I wasn't talking about the time on those two, because they don't seem to be time. There is nothing that says they are time. Like you're not limited to how much you can feed a day. It doesn't say it. On here, it doesn't say you're limited as to how much you can get of those sapling on fragments per day. So in a way, this means that those two missions in the middle could be done within a certain amount of time, depending on how lucky you get in this, on how much you farm. Obviously, this seems like a lot of energy, like, depending on how much you get per, like, if every time you get saplings, you get one sapling, getting 200 sapling is obviously gonna take maybe even more than a week for most people. Maybe well are gonna farm constantly 24/7 just to get them as quick as they can. But in the current state we have right here, we don't have the ability to tell. So assuming the worst, and that we get one sapling every day, I would say that this event in itself, like the Staying Life one, is gonna take 2 more weeks. On the Steadfast courage, I mean, if you've accumulated so many gear from Staying Life, you should be able to clear it maybe within the day. Hopefully. I don't know. Same thing for as the other one. I don't know how much a gear gives once you restore it. I don't know. Like if one red gear that's like +9 doesn't give like 100, yeah, maybe it's gonna take a while, because 3000 is a lot. But who knows? At least you get some charms back, I guess. But those charms that you get back are definitely not gonna be worse, unless this is a very little amount of gear you need to feed in this. But yeah. So overall, in the end, let's just say Ras is gonna take in between 3 weeks to 4 weeks for most normal people, or maybe less for like tryhard people that are just gonna keep farming until they get all of this, because nothing says that it's gonna take time. So yeah, that's my whole opinion about this. Obviously, I'm supposing a lot of stuff based on the info we currently have, but I just wanted to make this video, obviously, because I feel like some people are kind of lost about it when I look into the channel in Epic Sun, when I look in channel 1 and all that, when where I'm there on the global server. Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, wait, why can't we access those? How long is it gonna take? And whatnot. Well, A is the best answer I can give, which is 2 weeks for tryhards. Well, 2 weeks on some day, because I doubt you, even as much as you can tryhard, I doubt you can clear this very fast. Like 2 weeks on some days, and then 3 to 4 weeks for most normal people. But yeah, hope you guys are not too sad about it. But in the meantime, we're gonna get Setsuka, and we already have the scale, so I hope you can enjoy those units in the meantime. But yeah, I hope you guys are still hyped to get Ras within the month of September, technically. So yeah. Anyway, that was all for this video. I hope I didn't yap too much. I kinda did, to be fair. This video is already 15 minutes long. But yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.